What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RC's Gateway to Comics. Today we are going to be taking a look at another little tangent off of the Monster MD universe. And I think it's going to be a universe because Von Klaus has said he wants to do some more stories in that. But this is Shinobi Sasquatch versus Monster MD. I'm gonna get a little bit closer because the colors aren't as bright as I would hope that they would be. Still good though. This comic it's difficult. And it's mainly difficult because of one half of the equation. As many of you may know, the Shinobi Sasquatch crowdfunded campaign is still unfulfilled as of the time of this recording. But whenever the Monster MD campaign was going on, there was a crossover between the two that was offered as part of the campaign. And since I like Monster MD so much, I feel that it would be a disservice to that character and to Von Klaus to not include that in this review. So this is a little foray into Dr. Wyatt Black and Heidi's encounter with the Shinobi Sasquatch in the middle of his battle against something called a hexaglobin, which I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the Monster MD universe or if it's something from Shinobi Sasquatch and that story. Unfortunately, I can't give a direct answer to that because the campaign's not out. So I'm going to have to go based on what my assumptions here are. I know that Shinobi Sasquatch and probably the main the main background villain in this story are probably from Shinobi Sasquatch, and it's one of those things. It's one of those stories where the two heroes fight each other because they are not entirely sure of what's going on, and there's issues between the two because of stuff that's out of their hands. Shinobi Sasquatch is in a fight, and that sort of causes him to literally crash into Dr. Black and Heidi as they're on a vacation away from their regular duties as the monster doctor. And that sort of ignites a fight because Shinobi Sasquatch is sort of in a more feral state of mind because of the hexaglobin that was sort of like implanted into a wound of his, and that caused him to go crazy, and that starts a fight with Wyatt and Heidi because they need to sedate him and get him to stop going completely batshit insane. And since he is pretty much like a ninja, that is extremely difficult. The action in this comic is quite fun. It isn't in color, which I wish it was, but I'm not going to necessarily hold that against it. The art is still by Marco Maccagni, and it does still hold that same type of flow and action to it, and also still having the monsters with the side of humanity to them. I hope that makes sense, but if that doesn't make sense, watch my previous review of Monster MD to sort of get a better understanding of that. I wasn't a backer on Shinobi Sasquatch. Gonna be completely transparent there. And I don't know if I don't know the full details behind that character. But to me, it from what is presented in this campaign or like this comic, I think he does seem like an intriguing character, even if most of the time he does spend it in a more feral state of mind. Um, Wyatt and Heidi are hilarious as usual. They well, Wyatt is an asshole, but he is a likable asshole. Heidi is helpful, but is willing to kick some ass whenever she needs to, and pretty much just do what they can to help their patient. And sometimes, whenever your patient is a monster, then sometimes you're gonna need to do a little bit more ass kicking than what you would expect. Definitely not like those sweet old nurses that you would see at like a hospital or anything. This gonna need to open up a can of whoop ass. But we also have some other side characters like the teenage vampire kid that Wyatt interacts with in the Monster MD book and in this one. You get a little bit more interaction with him, and that's always fun. And he's a good character. I like him. Um, the only thing I'm not entirely sold on is the background villain, and that's mainly just because I don't know jack shit about him. I just know that he is the cause of the hexaglobin and causing Shinobi Sasquatch to go insane. And other than that, I don't really know much about him. I don't know if he's part of the Shinobi Sasquatch comic, and I don't know if he has anything further to do with Monster MD. But um, if you take him out of the story, then you don't miss much, and I don't have a problem with that. Just the last thing I'm going to cover, the cover art. That is, where is it? There we are. Cover art is by Rob Willis, who was the artist for the Shinobi Sasquatch campaign. I think he has since been removed from that role, but he is a good artist. I'm not going to take that away from him. And the colors are by Tanya Wicker, the colorist for the original Monster MD campaign, which it is still quite fantastic. A little bit darker than the cover for Monster MD, but I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not going to hold that against it. So, my final rating for Shinobi Sasquatch versus Monster MD would be a popcorn level story. It's perfectly enjoyable, and it gives you a glimpse of Shinobi Sasquatch, and the only thing holding this back is the fact that that campaign is not released yet. I know that at the time of this recording, Cal Jameson, who's the creator of Shinobi Sasquatch, he's trying to find different ways of putting out the campaign, and I do honestly wish him the best in that. I know it is. I can't imagine how stressful that would be, and I do hope that it comes out and it is well received as a comic. And yeah, and other than that, this book is quite good. I do enjoy it. So if you're able to get this as like an add-on for a future Monster MD campaign, I would say to do it. It's just more adventures with Heidi and Dr. Black, so there's nothing wrong with that. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. Please comment your thoughts on this. Did you enjoy this little mini crossover? Do you guys want to see more adventures of Dr. Black and Heidi and in the Monster MD universe? I know I certainly do, and I'm curious to see what you guys want to see. So, if you would also please subscribe to this channel and help us to continue to bring really good stories in front of people's eyes, especially anything from Von Klaus. Honestly, I cannot sing that man's praises enough. Also, thank you guys for watching, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.